Hello, my name is Rivas Mayoki, a fan. We're here to send off Lucifer, the show, Netflix show lately. And if you're here, spoilers of course, because this is about the finale, so watch it. Don't let me spoil it. Any fun that is spoiled is like opportunity wasted to experience joy and sorrow, because fiction is not about bringing us just joy. It's about sorrow too. We cry, we get angry, we experience the whole range of emotions as we watch our favorite shows and movies. And that's the point of fiction. It's therapeutic somehow. And that's, I think, the best part of it, because you can experience the event, the road not taken through the lens of the fiction. We don't have to make every single mistake that there is in the book in our own life. We can watch it from the safe distance of our chair or of our sofa and cry about it, think about it, and just don't do the same thing. That's for me fiction in a nutshell. And Lucifer is a show that beautifully encompasses this little thought of mine, because you would expect of a show about the devil to be anything but relatable, but it's so relatable on so many levels. But maybe that's just me. Anyway, I was not disappointed by the end. Let's just say that right off the bat, I was really pleasantly surprised by the end. They didn't take the old tired trope, which I did fear they would take. That's the hell loop. It was at the end. They said the loop too many times, and I was like, no, please don't. You will discard all the character development, and it will be like it was a dream trope. No, no, no. So they didn't take that road, and I'm really happy about that. And they chose a moderate route that is quite alright, and it works within the show, and I'm satisfied for that, for those characters. Um, because in the end, it was not the show about love. It was, like I said it before, it was a family show about family values and about sacrifices that are needed to be made for others to strive. It's not, Lucifer is not a character who is a protagonist of his own story. Huh? That's what he's not the protagonist of his own story. He's the healer. He's the therapist that sits in the chair and listens to others. He's the lens through which we can see the world, we can see ourselves. And it's really, in the end, the message of the show became is why we need the devil. And I think that is the message that they consistently showed us throughout the show, is why we need the devil, why we need the punishment, and why we need the people who are too dangerous to be around others, to be separated from others, to stop causing hurt and pain. And that's probably what the old police procedures are about. I love to watch a good police procedure series, and it's often about promoting the need of justice, the need of punishment, and the need of prisons. That's what police procedures are all about. And within the show, we see that played out. But that's one of the destinies and one of the options I prefer to watch on my screen and not to live through more than few times. As we already experienced it. Because sometimes upbringing is the thing that teaches us how to stay within our little prison and how to stay stuck in our hell loop. And Lucifer, in the end, proved to be a great therapy session. And the therapy session is a perfect analogy for the show, especially because since the first episode he goes to therapy, and that's what therapy is all about. For you to sit in your little hell loop, repeating over and over the same events that got you stuck, and trying to get to the emotion behind it, to understand it, so you can release it and escape your prison. And that's quite a beautiful message. That's something worth conquering. Um, but in the end, Lucifer exits his own prison, and his that are his limitations and his inability to love, just to assume the resume with his role of a warden, a changed warden, a better warden, but still a warden because the world needs the prison and he's the keeper of it. And within the show, that's a great way to end things, because I was quite fearful that they will try to go to heaven and make him God for real, and that would be a disaster for all the obvious reasons why he's not cut up for that job. And they did complete his arc, but the arc of the show is that the work is more important than love. That's why this review won't end up on my love playlist. It will be about hidden playlist, because even if we followed their romance from the start, their romance proved to be something that is sacrificable, something that ends, and their jobs are the things that persist and that give them meaning. And the messaging of the show in the end is that it's easier to lose your love interest than to lose your job. And that's so American of Lucifer. I don't know. I think that's the most American thing I ever saw. And I appreciate the messaging. It's okay. Sometimes our job is more fulfilling than our romance situation, and I was worried about her leaving her job and her friends and everything she knows. But sometimes we do that. Sometimes we leave everything we know to embark on a new journey and become new people, because that's the part of the show. In the fiction, I am quite satisfied with this end, but in real life, I'm like, but you retire your job like in 20 years max, and we see her dying very old, and you spend then 40 years as an old jobless lady who has angry children and never see your husband, even if he's shown in the series that he can fly up and down, just so your daughter would, I don't know. It's just time loops. I'm never quite satisfied with time loops. That's the part that I'm dissatisfied with. Spoilers, of course. The whole this whole thing is spoilers. Sorry if you missed that part. But for someone who's satisfied, I feel that I'm complaining. I'm not complaining. I'm just comparing the reality with fiction. It's alright to see it in fiction. It's nice to get a layout how to exit your hell loop, and it's nice to see people who are committed to freeing people from hell loops like their calling of their life. mm, and of course it's nice to see people committing to their parenting roles and doing what's necessary for their children. And I don't know, to spend your life alone for so many years, not really satisfying for me. That part, nah. I'll pass. I'll see that on the screen and find someone I can talk to and work with and be like in good relationship without creating a hell loop, because marriage itself can be a really wicked hell loop if you let it. But if you got caught in it, because hell loops are things we got caught in, they're not something we choose. And each party that is caught in a hell loop feels equally hellish, I would suppose. So it's not thing to be ashamed of, and it's beautiful thing that shows like Lucifer do get created to show us that side of life where you suffer, where you get stuck, and when you can't get unstuck. and it's a beautiful piece of fiction. Of course, if I was angry enough, I would now write a fan fiction where he visits her secretly and she's not completely alone, but that's again unsatisfying on so many levels. Like, then you're just a lover, side lover, so it's, although it would be in character with him. I don't know, but I couldn't make it better because he's already the devil, there's already the baggage, and that is a perfect ending for him to become a better devil. That's the outcome that is quite believable within universe. Um, and we do like to do our jobs and follow our passions, but just be mindful of personal connections and be aware that the jobs do end, and people, I don't know, hopefully stick around longer than jobs. That's all I'm saying. It just seems like in American way they have the value for the job that is above anything and everything else. That's why they have to do so many family shows, because repeat their family values, because I think as a society that the value of the job really did took over their lives. It just seems like that from afar. Anyway, reporting in from this country that revolves around family values so much that we don't even have to advertise them. I hope I will bring you some good romance. Anyway, there's links down below. There's other videos around this one, and see you around. Bye.